What if nothing ever changes? What if nothing ever changes? That's kind of what I heard in my soul when I was talking to God Thursday morning. I was just thinking about the world and all the different things that prompt me to participate. Some of the things that I guess one might qualify as a hope, the things that I've learned over the years through studying, reflection, and praying, and being willing even to die for some of the things that I feel are true. And then at the end of spending that time in quiet and just listening, I just heard this question in my soul: what if nothing ever changes? And I had to be in wonder about that because I started thinking, well, what if nothing ever changes? This was the morning that they were going to memorialize John Lewis, and he came onto the national stage because he was marching, and he left the world with people still marching. And that morning, our church was doing the bell tolls for John Lewis, and I started looking at some of the memorial service that was going on, and I was looking at it on Facebook Live. And as I was watching it on Facebook Live, I saw a lot of people trolling, saying negative things about Mr. Lewis, and then other people arguing, saying, "Why can't you respect this person? It's their memorial service. If you don't want to watch it, then why don't you just get off? Like, why do you have to be up here and troll right now?" And as I watched it, I just thought to myself, what if nothing ever changes? And that could sound like something that could lead into despair, something negative, something that's disappointing. But something came in my spirit as I thought about it. And what came to me was the idea that if nothing ever changes, I still have no excuse. If there's something in my heart that tells me that I should live according to something that I may say is a profession of my faith, or something that I think is just, or something that I think can be a betterment to my community, and I don't just mean the Black community, I just mean whatever community I happen to be a part of for my family, that I have to give that regardless of what people do with it, regardless of what people take from it, regardless of what people make of it. And in my own profession of trying to follow the teachings of Jesus, basically what it comes down to for me is that what another person does, who another person is, or any of those things that people use to qualify whether or not they will stand on the side of what they might profess as justice, doesn't matter, because it teaches in this tradition that we practice, or I practice, that Jesus didn't make those qualifications, that Jesus still did what he had to do regardless of what other people did. Even when his disciples bounced on him, or punks, or whatever the case may be, he still had to do what he had to do. And in his particular case, that led him to be crucified. And I've been reading a lot about Rene Girard's take on some of that, and it's been very helpful and instructive in thinking about, he knew how people are. He knew that people scapegoat, and that's what we do all the time. And I witnessed it day in and day out, even with my own children. It doesn't matter who it is. Most people that I've encountered since I've been on earth have, when something happens that they wish didn't happen, or something that makes them uncomfortable, the first thing they do is try to figure out whose fault it is, and then try to get that energy off of them. That's what people do. They do it through blame, they do it through shame, they do it through all these other things. But at the end of the day, someone who says, "Hey, I don't think it has to be that way," or "I believe that there is a better way," at some point they have to just live into that. They have to live into it regardless of what other people say, regardless of what other people do, regardless of what other people think. Not in a way that's dismissive, but hopefully in a way that, to use my favorite word, is invitational. Because if people don't know another way, they're just going to do what they do. And if people haven't experienced another way, or if they're caught up in their own experiences and feelings, it's going to be very difficult. So if it's in your heart to live a certain way, to live into faith or live into hope, you have to do it regardless of whether something changes. And I'm not telling you what you have to do. I'm just kind of telling you what I've experienced in my spirit. That even if nothing ever changes. Even if 20 years from now we're still marching, even if 20 years from now or 40 years from now or 100 years from now there's still racism, me making my choice to live a certain way be contingent upon everyone else changing or the world changing or the system changing, I can't control that. I can control what I do. I can control what I believe. I can control how I feed my mind. I can control where I put myself, where I give my money, or whatever those things. I can control that. I can't control the outcome. I can give my whole life for whatever I believe in, which all of us ultimately do, I believe, whether we don't believe or do believe, and irregardless of if that's even a word, independent of religion or any of those other things, we all say that we believe something or we do believe something and we live it and we're going to die by it. So I've been asking myself, you know, through my beliefs and the things that I profess and trying to live into them, does it help people's lives? Does it help expand love? Does it help invite people into a higher way of being? If it doesn't, it's probably worthless, no matter how many years somebody's been doing it, no matter what your family does or whatever the case may be. I'm trying to live into it. And if no one cares, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because that's what I'm professing. So that's what I have to do. And, you know, some people may say, wow, that's a bummer, man. You know, I mean, at least, you know, if I'm participating in some of this anti-racist stuff that I'm learning about right now, or I'm trying to donate money to certain causes, at least I want a return on my investment that the world is going to be a better place. But it's not about that. It's about us being a better person, us being better people. And the fact is, if we become better people, then the world will be a better place. You get it? Like if you give from your truth, if you live into your truth, if you live into what you profess and you do it with your whole heart and mind and soul, like if you're trying, like for myself, I'm trying to live these two great commandments. I just want to. I want to live the two great commandments. I don't care how many times I fail. I'm going to keep trying. That means loving God with all my heart and mind and soul, and loving my neighbor as myself, including my enemies, allowing myself to grow when I fail, own it, make mistakes, get back up, keep going, keep living into it. If I do that and other people do that, at the end of the day, I don't have to worry about the world being a better place because people won't stand by and allow the kind of things that we've been allowing forever in this country to continue because they be living their values. So instead of looking at everybody else and trying to figure out if they're living their values, my invitation to you is live yours. If you want to talk about it, you want to continue to explore it, if you're having challenges with it, I can't speak to everyone, but I'm making these videos and things like that as a way of just thinking, of just being a loving witness to the world that you see, and then making a choice and then living into that choice. Living into that choice, being what it is that you hope to see in the world without saying, hey, I'll do it when other people do it. I'll be a better person when so-and-so does it, or oh, I would do it, but look what they're doing. It's not about them. It's about living into what it is that you profess. So that's that's what was in my heart, and that's my next thing that I'm working on is if nothing ever changes, doesn't mean that I can't. And maybe if I do, I'll witness change in other places. So I'm continuing to work on that to the best of my ability, trying to be a contribution to the best of my ability. If I fail along the way, so be it. But at least I'm going to fail trying. So that's the invitation. And, you know, I guess that's all I have to offer today. I'm working on a bunch of different videos in my brain right now. It takes a little bit of time for me to get my thoughts organized in a way that I feel will be of service to other people. But there's a lot of things that I'm thinking about. If there's things that you're thinking about and you want to have a conversation about it, or you want me to make a video about it, let me know. And I'm reading all the time, reflecting as much as possible, and trying to live every moment as awake as I possibly can to be a witness to what's happening inside of me, and then trying to make the most conscious choices I can make. And I hope that you are too, and I hope that this can be a contribution to your work. So thanks for watching this, and I guess I'll see you online, whoever watches this. Take care.